afternoon to Madam Asna and my fellow audience. My name is Muhammad Iqmal Johannes bin Jeffrey, metric number DIL211010, and today we are going to be presenting a role play imitating the multiple award-winning Netflix series The Suits. So each of us will be playing a specific role for our role play today. Such as me, I'm going to be playing as Mike Ross. We have Atika Firzana, who will be playing as Harvey and also the grandma. We have Zurina here today, who will be playing as the head nurse. And finally, we have our storyteller, Siti Juliana, who will be storytelling our role play today. Before we start our role play, I would like to start with an introduction to give you guys a basic understanding of what negotiation really is. So negotiation is usually the most popular and it is likely the simplest form of ADR. Negotiation is a process whereby the parties and their legal advisor attempt to resolve the dispute by coming to an agreement, either through when correspondence or a meeting between everyone involved. It is possible to engage in a negotiation without bias. So I would like to give the next part to our storyteller, Siti Juliana.
The roleplay will begin now. Meet the New Boss is the third episode of the second season of Suits. Scene 1, begin.
Negotiator number 5.
Well, let's see if we can't.
You are all the same to me. I'm over here, you are over here.
Well, let's see if we can.
Well, you need to buy me dinner first.
I can do better. You are expecting me to offer this.
Yeah, maybe.
You are willing to settle on this. You are willing to settle on this. You are paying on this. Well, your answer has been prayed.
Prescott Hospitals and their nurses union who wish to go on strike unless they receive money to hire more nurses as they are understaffed. Scene number 2, action.
So, are you telling me that they are willing to pay for the equipment but rather than nurses? Oh, I get it.
Well, you need to find a way to get access to that money, or we don't have a deal. That's not going to happen.
Well, I think we are done.
If you leave this table, it means one thing.
I reject your proposal.
Harvey wants to file an injunction to stop the strike from ever happening, but Mike advises filing a temporary restraining order against the nurses union, which would halt their strike for 48 hours. Season 3, action.
Action. Harvey, I'm telling you, it is safer to be arguing about the temporary restraining order.
First of all, it is TRO, which means it delays the strike, and injunction stop it. I want it to stop.
Mike, in order to deal with the nurses' strike, Harvey used Mike as a go-between. Mike does the thing by letting Nell Sawyer, the head nurse, meet his grandmother again. During this meeting that Mike learns that the understaffed nurses are working longer are working longer shifts than 20 hours without getting paid, despite the fact that this is noted on their time cards. Scene number 4, begin.
Now,
Yeah, what is it?
actually, I came over here to extend an olive branch.
Why don't you go ahead and start your strike right now?
You look into our finance and we look into your finance as well. Your strike fund has enough for a week. And you are not even going to have a meeting about it for a month.
We are getting into it. We are prepared. Well, prepare yourself for this.
Your last offer of the table, the new offer is the one you give before that, and every day you strike. It's going to keep it getting worse.
Yeah, say whatever you want. I'm gonna leave soon.
Scene number 5 will begin now.
So, what harm is they talking to me?
Why should I trust you?
Well, that's why I need you here.
Okay, very well.
Sorry, Madam Bella. Let me see this.
So, what harm is they talking to me?
Why should I trust you?
Well, that's why I need you here.
Okay, then you should go and meet your grandmother.
Hello, Nasoya. A proud resident of a Christian nursing home. I can't take one pill in peace.
You brought up the topic of pills because I need to give your grandson a little lesson of medicine. So, you know what it is? This is cholesterol, Zetacon, Capsule, and then we have paracetamol. You know what happens if they are not straight?
Not good.
Well, then you think who's gonna give this to your grandmother? It's not doctors, it's nurse. Okay, imagine your grandmother's nurse going 15 hours shift, and then your grandmother need 2 hours medicine, exactly 2 hours of the medicine. Then we are understaffed. Then what you are going to happen to your grandmother? If you ask me what I want enough money so that this kind of thing never happens again in the future.
Harvey gives now 15 pink slips for nurses who have been working overtime and are now no longer covered by the labor law at their meeting. She has until the end of the day to accept the agreement. Mike appears astounded by Harvey's application of the knowledge. Nell says, your grandmother would be proud. Associates cannot complain about long work hours as there is no law against working 20 hours a day. Harvey uses the time card knowledge to force Nell into signing a reduced settlement. Scene number 6 will begin now.
So it turns out that the nurses are consistently staying late to give the patients the right meds. So even though they're not being paid for it.
And you bought that?
Yeah, I bought the medicine because I checked my grandmother's chair. It turns out that all they want enough stuff is that nobody has to work more than 15 hours shift again.
And how much is going to cost?
10% of the new equipment fund.
In the end, Nell just walked away. Mike goes after Harvey, and the latter reminds his associate that his job was to stick it to the nurses and that it is part of the job. Even if he doesn't like it, and that the settlement where the nurses get something is better than the alternative where they don't. Scene 7, action.
What is this?
It's a pink slip. 50 pink slip, in fact, for 50 nurses.
Excuse me?
It come to my attention that these nurses have been working past 15-hour shift and they don't put it on their time card, but they still sign the charts, which happens to release them from the protection of the federal law. I found these 50 pieces in one night. That's the way out of this. Just sign the contract.
Your grandmother will be proud of this.
You have until the end of the day to sign this.
Okay, as you wish. I'm loose.
And after role play, we'll be continuing with the conclusion.
Our role play earlier, that role playing is based on the Suits, episode 3, season 2, Hello, My New Boss. So to conclude our role play today, I will be giving you guys a conclusion about what it is to have a negotiation as a form of ADR. So, logical thinking, there is no negotiation in the world, goes as clearly and as smoothly person ever in the real world. So for our negotiation case, we have international case and Malaysian case. For the international case, we choose the Microsoft v Nokia. So the issue in this case is about whether business negotiation can use bargaining strategies to bring competitors to a good negotiation agreement. So for our Malaysian case, we picked Malayan Banking Berhad v Fu Simoy, and the issue in this case is about whether the evidence is made without prejudice. So the way Harvey smoothly just start people down by force, Nell signing a reduced settlement and get what he wants on TV is not real. Almost all negotiation is about give and make compromising in a way that both parties walk away happy with what they have, which in this case of the suit never happens. Besides that, Malaysian negotiations are ineffective because they frequently were employees of the company, such as HR, as opposed to hiring lawyers to handle the process. The usual reason why negotiation in Malaysia doesn't work is because HR doesn't have good negotiation skills. Sometimes negotiation skills will apply pressure strategies like making final offers. It may be more than once, and they almost never are. Avoid using strategies like from pressure or expiring offers, because Malaysian may interpret them as a lack of commitment or your part to a long-term relationship. They could decide to end the discussion. So that's all from us today. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to our